Hello and welcome back. I'm Sean Fox and you're watching another episode of Made to Ramble. Now it's pretty late at night and I'm in my hotel room, but in just a few hours I'm going to be trekking out into the jungle here in Uganda to encounter mountain gorillas. We had a briefing earlier this evening and a guide was giving us instructions on how to behave around the gorillas. One of the things he told us is that we have to remain at least 7 meters away from the gorillas at any time. He did also mention, though, that the gorillas aren't given the same briefing and they can come as close to us as they like. He also mentioned that we might not want to touch them with our hands, as this could be seen as a threat to the silverback, who could charge us. I've dreamt of doing this all my life, but I must admit, I'm a little scared now. After a restless night with very little sleep, we were finally on our way. Not necessarily in the best condition for a long day's hike though. The one thing I really hadn't been expecting was a rather long walk through public farmland before we even reached the rainforest. It did give us a chance to meet some locals, and it's certainly a scenic location. But the terrain is pretty steep and slippery in places, and it quickly tested our fitness. I discovered I didn't have any. I also regretted not bringing my boots. My shoes really weren't up to the task, and I must have slipped over about a dozen times before we even got to the forest. These gorilla treks are extremely popular, despite being very expensive. It costs around 1,000 Australian dollars, and you have to book well in advance to ensure that you get a spot. They allow one group with no more than 7 people to visit a family of gorillas each day. The family that we visited had more than 20 individuals, 10 of whom were either juveniles or still babies. Face to face with a silverback is pretty awe-inspiring, but I think what really amazed me was just how chilled out these guys were. Now I know they see people every single day, but given the way that our tour guides kept trying to pull the vegetation from in front of them so we'd all get a better view, and they also seemed to be constantly on the move, it just felt like we were chasing them. Given all this, I am surprised at how tolerant they were. Well, that's all for now. I hope you really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, that's the last of the African series, but next week we'll have a new video coming from Singapore. So until then, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button down below, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Hope to see you again.